Hi, my name is Claire Stringer. I'm the infant feeding coordinator. Just going to run through with you around sterilising your bottles, how to sterilise them safely, and then how to make up a formula feed safely. So we'll start off with your sterilisers. So we have different sterilisers that are out there on the market. So you have your electric steriliser, and also this steriliser that's electric. You can also have a very similar one which is microwavable as well, so you just put it in the microwave. So, and then we also have a cold water steriliser which we use Milton and the liquids for to sterilise in. There's also, if you don't have any of that equipment and you need to sterilise bottles, what we would suggest is putting a pan of boiling water onto the stove and boiling for 5-10 minutes in the water, and then that would sterilise them as well. So for the purpose of this little video, I'm just going to use the cold water steriliser here that I've got in front of me. So what we need is you need your kettle, your steriliser with your bottles in that are ready to be used, and then I've got a jug of cold water here as well to cool the bottles down, and then I've also got my formula. The formula that we recommend you use for babies is the number 1. So all your formulas would have a number 1 on it, so it states from newborn. This is the formula that we recommend from birth. We don't need to change that formula, and then you can use that until your baby's 1 year old. As you can see on my formula tin, I've got no labels on it because all formulas are very similar, so there's no difference in the formulas. What we would recommend is if you wanted to have a look at the ingredients in formulas, there's a website called First Steps Nutrition. It's a non-biased website that tells you evidence-based information around the ingredients of formulas. It also talks about vegetarian formulas, etc. as well on there. So if you go to there, that'll tell you all you need to know about your formulas. So to start on our formula, what we need to do is make up the formula as we need it. So we can't make up the formulas, put them in the fridge and leave them, because what happens is the formulas have bacteria in it, and if it allows to be cooled to a certain temperature, it starts breeding them bacteria. So what we need to do is make up these formulas as we use them. So just going to get the bottle out of here. So just give it a shake. If you have got a cold water sterilising unit, you don't need to dry the bottles in any steriliser that you get the bottles out. You may get a residue of water at the bottom. Just give it a little shake off. Don't dry it with any tea towel or anything like that, because then we're introducing more bacteria. So it's all sterilised, it's sterile water. It's absolutely fine just to shake off, okay? So I've just got a small little bottle, and I'm just going to make up 1 ounce in here for the purpose of this video. So when you're using your hot water, boil your kettle, and you must use the kettle straight away, because what we want to do is we need the water to be above 70 degrees for formula. So use your water out of your steriliser, out of your kettle, and make it up to 1 ounce. So we're just going to put the water in first and put it to the number 1. So I've just put too much and I'm just going to pour that out. So what you need to do is just put it on a flat surface and just have a little check to see if you've got the right amount in. If you're holding it up into the air, it's very difficult to see because we've got it on an angle. So just make sure you put it on a flat surface, and I've got a number 1 there. So it's all level for the number 1. Then what we do is you just look at the on the manufacturer's guidelines on the back of the tin. It will tell you how much to use. They normally come with these little scoops in them, so that's perfect because that's 1 scoop. So for every ounce of for every ounce that you're making up is 1 scoop per ounce. So I'm making up 1 ounce of formula, so I just put 1 scoop in. Some of the tins, as you can see, have a ridge here, so you can use so you can flatten the scoop off. Because as you can see, we can put a huge big scoop in or not enough in. So what we need to do is have a level scoop. So what we do is just scoop it and run it along the edge of the tin, and that will give you a level scoop. If the tin doesn't have the lip on it, what you can do is use a knife, use the back of the knife and level it off that way as well. So it's a level scoop that makes sure that we've got the right consistency of formula to water. and all we do is just knock it in, making sure that you've got everything out of your scoop in. Sometimes it does stick around a little bit, so just knock it off and pop it in there. Then what we'll be doing is getting our teat out and our lid and giving it a shake. We're just shaking the milk, making sure that the milk and the water is mixed up nicely. We've got no areas where the formula hasn't mixed round enough. So we've got that milk, that's ready to go now. Obviously that's a little bit too hot for your baby now because we've used boiling water above 70 degrees. So to be able to cool that water down, we've just put it straight into some cold water just to leave it to cool. Once you've left it to cool, the way to check that the bottle is of sufficient temperature for your baby is use the wrist, so the back of your wrist there, and just drop some bits of the formula milk onto your wrist to make sure it's cool enough. You'll feel if it's too hot you'll feel if it's too hot on your wrist. So we just check it there, and then that's ready to feed.